Dynaste is the outstanding horse, got the best form by 1,000,000 miles. The record of horses that won the Cheltenham Novice Chase at Kempton at Christmas is deplorable as far as winning the Sunline Chases. But this horse is a bit different. I was down actually in Pipes yesterday, and you know, they think he's a really good horse. The Grand Cru that got beaten in this race last year at a very short price, but he's a completely different horse to Grand Cru. He's very relaxed, jumps and he stays. And I just think he's got too much class for the likes of Boston Bob, Union East. All the other English horses are all finished in a heap there together. I think Hadrian's Approach at 12-1 is a very good bet to be placed. I think he stays, as you said, it is the Stayers Chase, and he does stay. And the rest of them, Rocky Creek, you know, looks pretty slow to me. But I think Dynaste stands out 1,000,000 miles. I think 5-2 is a great price about. And no such thing as great price in the Novice Chase at Cheltenham, but I think 5-2 about him in Cheltenham is a good price.
Well, one thing that was cast up is Boston Bob's lack of speed against Brindisi Breeze last year. I mean, does that bother anybody?
Yeah, it would have to. If you saw him there in the video getting up in Leopardstown, you know, Leopardstown, you don't need as much pace around Leopardstown as you do in Cheltenham. And it took him the whole day to get up in Leopardstown, just on the line. Talking about Dynaste, if you take a line of form through Hadrian's Approach, I mean, Hadrian's Approach is potentially the second best 3-mile staying chaser in England, and he's finishing thereabouts with everything else. But Dynaste beat him a furlong. So it's a bit boring going along with that. I'll give you one each way shot. Lyrene Legend, who you saw there in that 4-way finish, he was one of the 4. He was on the inner, I'm not sure where exactly he finished. But he had a terrible training preparation. I think he was off for about a month and then was only in training for 2 weeks before the race. So Brian Cooper is of the opinion that he's undoubtedly the best Irish 3-mile staying chaser. I don't think the Irish are good enough, but at 20-1, I think he could be a good thing for an each-way bet.
Yep, Larry Legend was one that's been cast up for as, and also another each-way, Oublon des Obeaux as an each-way that's been fancied by a few people as well. Shark, have you any views on this one apart from Dynaste?
No, not really. Like, he's rated 162, everything else is in, there are 145 horses, and I can't see anything beating this. That A Up Charlie goes for the Jewson. Back in Focus goes for the 4-mile. Like, Boston Bob is the one that's going to take him on, but he has no chance of beating him.
Well, I was very kindly supplied with stats, I would say. Checking the stats, which, thank you very much indeed to Sean. Irish trained horses have won the race 5 times in 14 years, with Willie Munnells responsible for 3 of these. That's sort of quite a feat of statistics.
Yeah, stats now, you could shove them up as far as you like, wherever you want to.
I was wondering what was coming next. Danny, your views on the RSA?
Yeah, I'd be a big fan of Dynaste. I think Boston Bob the last day in Leopardstown, Paul Townend was inspirational on him to get him back up. But I heard now at the races there this evening before I came out, there was an awful lot of money for Dynaste in the Jewson. Whether that now was false money or maybe they're leaning towards it, but I'd have to think he'd be the winner of this race if he took his part.
Well, still, it's no runner, no bet. So if you put the price on for Dynaste and this doesn't run, just carry it over. Chris?
Well, if you put your money on Dynaste 5-2, yet again in the street best price, you can draw your money then as a non-runner and place it on the Jewson. About 8:30 there before we came to this stage. It was currently traded on the exchanges, shorter for the Jewson than it was for the RSA. I don't know if Tony's willing to disclose. Have you heard anything when he was at Pipes Yard?
Have you heard anything about?
They actually did. Actually, I was with Martin and David yesterday, and they actually didn't know themselves. They actually genuinely hadn't made their mind up, unless they did today, like, but they didn't actually yesterday. And they don't tell many people, but they tell me now and again.
They do keep their cards very close to their chest.
They do, yeah.
Yes. As do you usually.
They taught me that.